Expand your vocabulary with our core 2,000 words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Bulgarian ebook before it's gone. Wait, before we start, do you want a bundle of 30 printable Bulgarian PDF cheat sheets? Teaching you words and phrases for conversations for free? Then click the link in the description and sign up for a free lifetime account to get access.
Hello and welcome to BulgarianPod101.com. My name is Mira and today I will help you hit the books. Hit the books. Such an interesting phrase. It's an English idiom we often use when we start studying or learning something new. In this lesson, I will teach you a few words in Bulgarian which have no equivalent translation in English. We use idiomatic words in our daily speech, so by knowing even just a few of them in Bulgarian can make you sound like a local. So it's easier to remember. I will also add the literal translation of the word. Stay until the end to test your knowledge. Let's have some fun and practice together. Kukeri. 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 The literal translation is gossiper. It refers to someone who gossips a lot. For example, imagine a small office where everyone knows each other well. There is an employee, Ivan, who always seems to know everyone's business. One day, he overhears a private conversation between two co-workers about a potential promotion. Later, he shares the details with another colleague during lunch. Как Иван знае всичко за всеки? Все едно подслушва всеки разговор. Такъв е клюкар, каквото му кажеш, той разказва на целият офис. If someone keeps telling you gossip about other people, you can refer to this person as клюкар. Лакомник. 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 The literal translation is greedy one. It means a greedy person, especially regarding food. Let's say there is a family dinner and there is a big plate of desserts on the table. Everyone has had one piece, but Peter quickly grabs 3 more, leaving none for his siblings. Петре, остави малко на брат си и сестра си. Не бъди такъв лакомник. Виж си, че ние имаш повече, отколкото можеш да изядеш. So, if you see someone taking more than they need, especially in regards to food, you can call them лакомник. Зевзек. 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 This literally means joker. That's a witty person who jokes around a lot, sometimes sarcastically. For example, at a family gathering, everyone is sitting at the dinner table, and Uncle Georgi keeps making funny jokes and pranks, making everyone laugh. He does this all the time. Чичо Георги, спри се, моля те! Такъв си завзек! Винаги ни караш да се смеем в неподходящи моменти. You can think of Zavzek as the class clown. That person would joke around a lot, often at times when humor is not expected. Tărtei. 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 The literal translation is lazy one. It means a lazy or unproductive person. Let's imagine in a group of friends preparing for a weekend hiking trip. One of them, Nikki, is sitting on the couch scrolling through his phone, while everyone else is packing and getting ready. Ники, ще ни помогнеш ли с нещо или само ще седиш като търте? Ние вършим цялата работа, докато ти нищо не правиш. Tъртей is the word for male bee in Bulgarian. In this context, tъртей is used to describe Nikki as lazy or unproductive, much like calling someone a slacker in English. Bърборко, bърборко, bърборко. The literal translation is blabber. It means a talkative person. For example, during a school lesson, little Alex keeps talking to his classmates despite the teacher asking for silence. Алекс, моля те не говори, а обърни внимание на урока. Алекс, такъв си бърборко, не можеш дори за 5 минути да не кажеш нещо. Here, bърборко is used to affectionately or teasingly describe Alex as someone who talks excessively, similar to blabber in English. Глезло, глезло, глезло. It literally means spoiled one, a spoiled or pampered individual, often used affectionately or mockingly. Let's imagine at a toy store, a child is throwing a tantrum because his parents refuse to buy him a second toy after already getting him one.
Иво, спри се веднага. Държиш се като глезло. Трябва да се научиш, че не можеш да получаваш всичко, което искаш.
In this context, glezlo describes Ivo as a spoiled child, someone who expects to get their way and reacts poorly when they don't. It can also be used playfully to describe adults who act pampered. Now, let's learn longer idioms. I will teach you 2 commonly used phrases in Bulgarian, which will most definitely enrich your everyday conversations. Не е цвете за мирисане. Не е цвете за мирисане. Не е цвете за мирисане. The literal translation is, he is not a flower to sniff. It's used to describe a person, situation, or thing that appears nice at first, but it's actually difficult or troublesome. Let's say Maria's friend introduces her to Daniel, saying how great he is and that the two of them would get along. However, later Maria finds out Daniel is actually rude and difficult to talk to. Мария, какво мислиш за Даниел? Нали е много разговорлив и забавен? В началото и аз така си помислих, но после направи няколко груби коментара и си тръгна без да каже довиждане. Не е цвете за мирисане, ако ме питаш мен. Here, the phrase is used to describe someone who appears nice at first, but turns out to be unpleasant. You can use this phrase to describe an object as well, but in Bulgaria, we mainly use it to describe a person. Един вятър ни вее. Един вятър ни вее. Един вятър ни вее. The literal translation is one wind blows us. It refers to people who are in the same situation or are going through the same experience. Let's say Alex and Georgi are talking about work one evening. Both are complaining that their manager avoids his responsibilities and often is not present to provide them guidance. В днешната среща менеджерът ми говореше само за себе си, въпреки че целият екип работихме усилено по проекта. Искам повишение, но не мисля, че ще го получа, ако той ми е менеджер. Разбирам те. Моят менеджер не комуникира особено с нас. Екипът ни върши цялата работа, а той си присвоява заслугите. Един вятър ни вее. Here, the idiom is used to point out that both men are going through similar issues at work. Now let's practice what we have learned. I will give you the meaning, and you have to tell me which is the word or phrase that I'm referring to? I will give you 7 seconds to think, then I will reveal the answer.
A talkative person. Barborko. A greedy person, especially regarding food. Lakomnik refers to someone who gossips a lot. Klukar, used to describe a person, situation, or thing that appears nice, but it's actually difficult or troublesome. Не е цвете за мирисане. A spoiled or pampered individual, often used affectionately or mockingly. Glezlo, a lazy or unproductive person. Tarte. It refers to people who are in the same situation or are going through the same experience. Един вятър ни вее. A witty person who jokes around a lot, sometimes sarcastically. Zevzek.
Good job on today's lesson. Idioms are not easy, but they are so much fun to learn. Feel free to watch the lesson again and practice using the idioms in a sentence. If you want more videos like this, make sure to subscribe to BulgarianPod101.com. Thank you for listening and see you next time. Bye!
Now that you're finished with this lesson, don't forget, as a free bonus, you get over 30 conversation cheat sheets, but only if you sign up via the link in the description. You'll learn how to have flowing conversations and how to answer the most common questions. You can also print out these colorful cheat sheets to keep as physical study material. So don't miss out on this free gift. Click the link in the description and sign up for a free lifetime account to get your PDF cheat sheets. Wait! Before we start, do you want a bundle of 30 printable Bulgarian PDF cheat sheets? Teaching you words and phrases for conversations for free? Then click the link in the description and sign up for a free lifetime account to get access.
Здравейте! Welcome to BulgarianPod101.com. In today's listening exercise, we'll explore a day in the life of a Bulgarian. More specifically, we'll take a look at what a typical Saturday might look like in the bustling capital of Sofia. Along the way, you'll pick up some practical, everyday vocabulary and get familiar with slightly more advanced sentence structures. Make sure to listen carefully because after the story, I will ask you a few questions to test your understanding. Are you ready? Let's dive in! Кристина стана в 8 в събота сутрин. Искаше и се да поспи още, но звукът от трамваите я събуди. Първата й работа беше да си направи кафе и след това да оправи леглото си. Беше слънчева сутрин, затова тя реши да изпие кафето на балкона. След бърза закуска, Кристина отиде до фитнеса. По принцип ходи на фитнес във вторник и четвъртък, но тъй като стана рано, имаше време за бърза тренировка. Към 10 часа Мария й се обади да направят една разходка по центъра на София и да си поприказват. Двете са съседки и често се срещат в квартала. Улиците вече бяха пълни с хора и музика, идваща от заведенията. Момичетата си приказваха повече от час, но дойде време за обяд и Кристина реши да се изготви вкъщи. След обяд и почивка, тя се приготви да ходи на театър с нейни приятелки. Веднъж в месеца ходят на постановки в Народния театър и този път гледаха комедия. Постановката приключи в 9 и понеже беше събота, момичетата отидоха да пинат по едно питие. Кристина се прибра към 11 и бързо се приготви за лягане, надявайки се трамваят да не я събуди отново. So, let's test your comprehension. I will read the text slowly one more time. Try and answer these multiple choice questions. What did Christina first do in the morning? A. Made her bed. B. Brushed her teeth. Or C. Made coffee. When does Christina usually go to the gym? A. On Friday only. B. On Tuesday and Thursday. C. On Tuesday only. What kind of play did the girls watch? A. Comedy. B. Mystery. C. Drama. Feel free to pause the video and write the questions down. I will reveal the answers later. If you're ready, let's go through the story once again. Кристина стана в 8 в събота сутрин. Искаше й се да поспи още, но звукът от трамваите я събуди. Първата й работа е да си направи кафе и след това да оправи леглото си. Беше слънчева сутрин, затова тя реши да изпие кафето на балкона. След бърза закуска, Кристина отиде до фитнеса. По принцип ходи на фитнес във вторник и четвъртък, но тъй като стана рано, имаше време за бърза тренировка. Към 10 часа Мария й се обади да направят една разходка по центъра на София и да си поприказват. Двете са съседки и често се срещат в квартала. Улиците вече бяха пълни с хора и музика, идваща от заведенията. Момичетата си приказваха повече от час, но дойде време за обяд и Кристина реши да се изготви вкъщи. След обяд и почивка, тя се приготви да ходи на театър с нейни приятелки. Веднъж в месеца ходят на постановки в Народния театър и този път гледаха комедия. Постановката приключи в 9 и понеже беше събота, момичетата отидоха да пинат по едно питие. Кристина се прибра към 11 и бързо се приготви за лягане, надявайки се трамваят да не я събуди отново. Did you manage to get the answers to all the questions? Don't worry if you didn't. Listen to the text again if you need to. But first, let's go through some important vocabulary and structures. Искаше й се да поспи още, но звукът от трамваите я събуди. Искаше й се. Това е рефлексивна конструкция, която изразява желание или стремеж, често срещана в българският език. Трамвай е форма на обществен транспорт, често използван в европейски държави. Силният шум от трамваите е познат на всички, които живеят до трамвайните линии. Беше слънчева сутрин, затова тя реши да изпие кафето на балкона. Глагол плюс да плюс глагол. Да е свързваща частица, която се използва за въвеждане на действие. Като например отиде да яде. Went to eat. Тръгна да пише. Began to write. Опита се да рисува. Tried to draw. Улиците вече бяха пълни с хора и музика, идваща от заведенията. Фразата пълни с се използва, за да опише обекти или места, които съдържат голямо количество или са наситени с нещо. Като например, чашата е пълна с вода или книгата е пълна с интересни факти. Веднъж в месеца ходят на постановки в Народния театър. Постановка е театрално шоу, например пиеса, музикално шоу или друг вид сценична продукция. Момичетата отидоха да пинат по едно питие. Питие означава напитка, обикновенно алкохолна, както в този контекст. Може да се използва и за безалкохолна. In today's video, we covered vocabulary such as постановка, play or performance, and питие, drink. We also learned about the use of reflexive pronouns in Bulgarian, explaining how phrases like искаше и се express desire. It also highlights the usage of пълни с to describe something filled with people or things, like пълни с хора и музика, filled with people and music. The connecting particle da is crucial for making sentences in Bulgarian. It introduces an action that follows a decision, intention, or desire. Let's quickly go through the answers of the questions I asked earlier. What did Christina do first in the morning? The right answer was C. Made coffee. When does Christina usually go to the gym? The right answer is B. On Tuesday and Thursday. What kind of play did the girls watch? The right answer was A. Comedy. Great job for staying till the end. There were a few complicated sentences, but you made it through. Do you have trams in your country? I miss riding them, but not how loud they are. If you liked today's lesson, please hit the like button and make sure to subscribe to Bulgarian Pod 101 for more videos like this one. See you next time! Довиждане!
Now that you're finished with this lesson, don't forget, as a free bonus, you get over 30 conversation cheat sheets, but only if you sign up via the link in the description. You'll learn how to have flowing conversations and how to answer the most common questions. You can also print out these colorful cheat sheets to keep as physical study material. So don't miss out on this free gift. Click the link in the description and sign up for a free lifetime account to get your PDF cheat sheets. Wait! Before we start, do you want a bundle of 30 printable Bulgarian PDF cheat sheets? Teaching you words and phrases for conversations for free? Then click the link in the description and sign up for a free lifetime account to get access.
Welcome to BulgarianPod101.com. Today, we have prepared a very interesting lesson for you. Bulgarian name structures have a rich history and hilarious meanings, as well as paying respect to our ancestors. I will talk more about how these names are formed and how Bulgarians address each other compared to other cultures. Feel free to take notes along the way. Let's get started! Bulgarians have three names: first name, middle name, and last name. This tradition has been inherited by the Thracians, which inhabited Southeast Europe from 5000 BCE all up until the 4th century CE. According to the tradition, the middle name of a person honors their father, and the last name their grandfather. Interestingly, if a child is brought up without a father present, they would continue to carry that same tradition by using their mother's name and their surname. Let me give you an example.
Elena has a dad named Ivan, and her granddad's surname is Asenov. He took his surname from his father, and his father from his father, and so on. So the surname is more like a family name. Even the word for surname in Bulgarian is familia, from Latin origin. For females, the suffix ova or eva is added to the father's name, and it's reflected on the family name. So, Elena's full name will look like this: Elena Ivanova Asenova. For males, the suffix is of or f. For example, if instead of Elena we had Nicola, his name would be Nicola Ivanov Asenov. The suffix means son of or daughter of. In this case, Nicola, son of Ivan, of the Asenov family.
Here is an interesting fact. Bulgarians didn't use family names a century and a half ago. They were considered unnecessary. Instead, they used their first names, nicknames, or their father's names.
Bulgarian family names can be derived from professions and trades, like Ovcharov. Ovchar means shepherd. That person was probably looking after sheep. Therefore, his family name comes from his profession. Or Moryakov. Moryak means sailor. So perhaps this person was at sea a lot, and his trade became his family name.
Additionally, there are other more unusual suffixes than of, ova, and ev, eva, but they are not as common. Those other suffixes come from different regions of the country. But to keep this simple, we will stick to the most common suffixes.
Another interesting formation of the family names comes from the qualities, appearance, character, or social life of that person. Like Slabakov. Slabak means a physically weak person. I admit it's not the best choice of word, but these names were typically assigned by others at the time. These names sometimes come from negative reputations.
For example, a popular Bulgarian football player in current times is Dimitar Berbatov. His family name comes from the word berbat, literally meaning dirty. I guess his ancestor had trouble staying clean. I mean, the times were hard. Can't blame the man too much. But I guess that name stuck around. Family names can even come from nature, as well as from animals.
Lukov. Luk means onion. Chereshov. Cheresha means cherry. Zverev. Zver means beast. Golubov. Golub is the word for pigeon.
As you can see, there are countless family names, many of which are no longer in use as family trees get broken, or there is no one else to carry the family name. Bulgarians are proud of their family names as they carry the history of their ancestors, of their life, their status, personality. It is fascinating and entertaining to learn about family names, isn't it? In Bulgaria, people often know the names and surnames of their friends, but we rarely know their middle names. Middle names are not commonly used or said aloud. We say them only at times when we are required to state our full names. It's rare to refer to a person by their middle name. You can always ask if the person prefers to be called by their first or last name, or even a nickname. However, it's not unusual for friends to decide that on their own. If a person has a very interesting or unique family name, many might refer to them by it, like Çorbacieva, coming from the Turkish word çorbacıya, meaning rich merchant, moneylender, or large landowner. Name origins from Turkish are not uncommon due to the long year history between Bulgaria and Turkey. Let's quickly summarize. Bulgarian full names consist of a first name chosen by the parents, middle name derived from the father's name, and a family name passed down from generations. Females use the suffix ova and eva, and males use the suffix of and f, such as Petrova Petrov, Danailova Danailov, Vasileva Vasilev. Thank you for listening. This is our lesson for today. I hope you found the topic interesting and informative. You can understand so much about Bulgarian culture and people by the family names, and I find that really beautiful. I hope you enjoyed this lesson and give us a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more, make sure to subscribe to BulgarianPod101.com. I hope to see you next time. Do viđenja!
Now that you're finished with this lesson, don't forget, as a free bonus, you get over 30 conversation cheat sheets, but only if you sign up via the link in the description. You'll learn how to have flowing conversations and how to answer the most common questions. You can also print out these colorful cheat sheets to keep as physical study material. So don't miss out on this free gift. Click the link in the description and sign up for a free lifetime account to get your PDF cheat sheets. Wait! Before we start, do you want a bundle of 30 printable Bulgarian PDF cheat sheets? Teaching you words and phrases for conversations for free? Then click the link in the description and sign up for a free lifetime account to get access.
Welcome to BulgarianPod101.com. Today we have a fun lesson prepared for you. January in Bulgaria is a very exciting month with its unique traditions and holidays. You will also learn some useful vocabulary along the way. I warn you though, after this lesson, you might want to buy a ticket to Bulgaria for the next winter season. Are you ready? Let's get started! January, Januari, Januari, Januari. January is a time for celebration, rituals, and food, but also it is the time to take out your warmest clothes and prepare for cold. Weather. Vreme, vreme, vreme. Bulgaria has 4 seasons with boiling hot summers and freezing winters. For example, the highest usual temperature in the capital Sofia in January is around 4 degrees. In 2006, the lowest ever temperature in the city was reported, minus 25 degrees. Thankfully, I was too young to remember. During such temperatures, schools would usually close. We called it winter vacation, even though it was not an official holiday. Many cities in Bulgaria experience negative temperatures, even in a seacoast city like Varna. Thankfully, the weather has been milder than previous years, and our winters are not as tough as they used to be. There's not much rain in January. However, snowfall is common countrywide. Let me tell you a little about our national holidays. In Bulgarian, национални празници. Национални празници. Национални празници. One of the most respected and wildly celebrated holiday is Jordanovden. 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 Literally translated, Day of Jordan. Jordanovden is one of the biggest Christian holidays, celebrated on the 6th of January. This is the day in which Jesus Christ was baptized in the Jordan River. On the 6th, the Bulgarian priest goes to a river or pond and throws a cross into the water. Traditionally, an odd number of men go into the icy waters to catch it. It is believed that whoever catches it first will be very healthy and everything will go well for them in the year to come. Personally, I can't even take a cool shower, so I admire those men plunging themselves into 0 degrees water. Moving on to the topic of traditions. Tradiții. 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 Kukeri. 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 Kukeri are Bulgarian men in scary costumes, usually representing mythical creatures, animals, or demons. Together, they dance in a traditional ritual to scare the evil spirits away, bringing good luck and ensuring successful harvest for the year. This is one of the oldest Bulgarian traditions from the Trajan times, and it is a pre-Christian ritual recognized by UNESCO. The Kukeri ritual is done during the Surva festival at the end of January or beginning of February. If you're seeing them for the first time, you might be spooked out. You might also hear a few crying children. However, amongst the Kukeri, even kids can dress up and join the dance. National Geographic did a fantastic cover on Bulgarian Kukeri. So, if you're interested, you can find the video on YouTube. Name days. Imenni dni. Imenni dni. Imenni dni. Many people find the concept of name days oddly cool. In Bulgaria, name days are associated with Eastern Orthodox saints. Most names can be celebrated on their specific saint's day. People in Bulgaria often consider their name day to be even more significant than their birthdays. There are so many name days in the year. For example, there are 14 in January. But some days are more popular because the associated names are common. 6th of January, or as I already explained, Todorovden, is widely popular name day. People named Jordan, Jordana, Dancho, Dana, Bogdana, etc. will celebrate on that day. Same for the 7th of January, Day of Ivan, Ivanovden. Over 130,000 people named Ivan celebrate all over the country on that day. 17th of January, Day of Anton, Antonovden. 18th of January, Day of Atanas, Atanasovden. It's normal for kids to bring chocolates to school on their name day. I studied with 5 Ivans and 3 Antons in high school. We always had a lot of candy. In that case, it's always nice to have so many people with the same name. Now, I might have scared you a little with the low temperatures, but believe me, it has its perks. Skiing, or ski, is popular activity amongst Bulgarians and many foreign tourists. The beautiful landscapes and fluffy snow offers breathtaking views. 1.7 million tourists visit Bulgaria during the ski seasons from December to February. Popular ski resorts are Bansko, Borovets, and Pamporovo. If you are an experienced hiker, there are plenty of trails in case you prefer walking. It is a winter wonderland, whichever location you choose. January is not as busy as February, so make sure you try out all the mountain activities you can. Hot springs, минерални бани, минерални бани, минерални бани. You might be surprised to know that hot springs are a secret gem of Bulgaria. Bulgaria is at second place in Europe for the most natural mineral springs after Iceland, with over 700 around the country. This makes Bulgaria the perfect spa destination, especially during the winter season. Some popular spa resorts are located in Velingrad, Sandanski, and Bankia. Most are easily accessible from Sofia. So, if you want to relax in the hot water after skiing, you have plenty of options available. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Bulgaria is a beautiful country with rich history, delicious food, and colorful language. If you want to learn more about it, make sure to subscribe to bulgarianpod101.com. See you next time. Довиждане!
Now that you're finished with this lesson, don't forget, as a free bonus, you get over 30 conversation cheat sheets, but only if you sign up via the link in the description. You'll learn how to have flowing conversations and how to answer the most common questions. You can also print out these colorful cheat sheets to keep as physical study material. So don't miss out on this free gift. Click the link in the description and sign up for a free lifetime account to get your PDF cheat sheets. Wait! Before we start, do you want a bundle of 30 printable Bulgarian PDF cheat sheets? Teaching you words and phrases for conversations for free? Then click the link in the description and sign up for a free lifetime account to get access.
Welcome to BulgarianPod101.com. In today's lesson, we will talk about February in Bulgaria and what happens during this month. You will learn a few interesting facts about Bulgaria, understand more about the national and religious customs, and find out how Bulgarians celebrate Valentine's Day. If you're ready, let's begin. February. 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 Even though February is shorter than other months, it doesn't fall short on what it offers. Bulgarians enjoy February with its milder winter weather compared to December and January. We also look forward to the festivities happening on that month. Време. 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 Whilst February is not the coldest month in Bulgaria, the morning air can still make water freeze. However, it is the month during which we also get the hints of the soon arriving spring. The south, specifically southeast, has softer weather. But countrywide, the temperature is on average between 0 and 10 degrees Celsius. Here's a curious fact. A little village called Tran, near the border with Serbia, holds the record for the lowest ever recorded temperature in Bulgaria, minus 38.4 degrees Celsius. Its geographical location, combined with the specific mountain climate, makes it a real phenomenon. One of the main reasons for this phenomenon in Tran and other similar areas in Bulgaria is the radiation inversion. It's due to the cooling of the Earth's surface at night, which leads to the accumulation of cold air in the valleys. This makes the region around Tran one of the most interesting places for studying microclimatic features in the country. Despite being the shortest month, February offers plenty of celebrations and occasions to get together with family and friends. Our biggest reason to celebrate are the Christian and folklore holidays. Християнски празници. Християнски празници. Християнски празници. Christian holidays. Folklorni praznici. Folklorni praznici. Folklorni praznici. Folklore holidays. While the most of the world celebrates St. Valentine's Day on the 14th of February, we Bulgarians have our own holiday, which is also associated with wine. Day of Trifon. Trifon Zarezan. Trifon Zarezan. Trifon Zarezan. It's a Christian and folklore holiday connected to the change of the seasons from winter to spring. It marks the beginning of grape, crops processing. It celebrates the winemakers, gardeners, and innkeepers. Logically, on that day we also drink a lot of wine. Bulgarians take pride in their wine produce, and most would prefer to celebrate Trifon Zarezan than Valentine's Day, honoring the tradition and paying respects to the people involved in the process. Here are a few words to add to your February vocabulary. Vino, 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 wine. Lozar, 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 winemaker. Gradinar, 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 gardener. Krachmar, 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 innkeeper. If that was not enough, Day of Trifon has another occasion for celebration. Name days. In Bulgarian, imenidni, imenidni, imenidni. Name days are associated with the Eastern Orthodox saints. Almost every name can be celebrated on a specific day of the year, sometimes more than once. On the 14th of February, we honor Saint Trifon. Therefore, people named Trifon, or their names coming from Trifon, celebrate on that day. Name days are taken even more seriously than birthdays in Bulgaria. For those who enjoy winter but don't feel like doing just wine tasting, skiing, hiking, and ice skating are popular activities between January and February. Hiking, where there is snow, is of course recommended for more experienced hikers. You can always get a guide if you feel more comfortable. There are some easier trails which do not require a lot of hiking experience. Sofia, the capital of Bulgaria, has a few good ice rinks around town. You will find them quite full on weekends or in the evenings. However, it is quite fun activity where you can see many locals. One of my favorite flowers are snowdrops. In Bulgarian, kukicheta, kukicheta, kukicheta. These flowers are native to the eastern part of Europe and western Turkey, so it might be hard to see them anywhere else. Their peak season is at the end of February. They appear from underneath the snow and adorably bound down their heads. They're incredibly common in Bulgaria, and if you're lucky, you might see meadows full of them. They are a sign of spring, and they bring so much joy to whoever sees them. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. February has so much to offer and to make you look forward to. If you want to learn more about Bulgaria and what to expect throughout the year, make sure to subscribe to BulgarianPod101.com. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. I hope to see you next time. Довиждане!
Now that you're finished with this lesson, don't forget, as a free bonus, you get over 30 conversation cheat sheets, but only if you sign up via the link in the description. You'll learn how to have flowing conversations and how to answer the most common questions. You can also print out these colorful cheat sheets to keep as physical study material. So don't miss out on this free gift. Click the link in the description and sign up for a free lifetime account to get your PDF cheat sheets. Wait! Before we start, do you want a bundle of 30 printable Bulgarian PDF cheat sheets? Teaching you words and phrases for conversations for free? Then click the link in the description and sign up for a free lifetime account to get access.
Welcome to BulgarianPod101.com. Today is a listening and understanding exercise. You will hear a short story about shopping at a local food market in Bulgaria. When I was a kid, it was my favorite thing to do with my mother, as the environment is so vibrant, busy, and full of noise. Listen carefully because later I will ask you a few questions to test your understanding. Now, if you're ready, let's begin! Невена и майка й станаха рано в неделя сутрин, за да посетят местният пазар. С подготвен лист в ръка, двете пристигат на пазара в 9 сутринта. Щандовете са напълно отворени и мястото започва да се напълва. Възрастните хора обичат да ходят по-рано, за да избегнат суматохата. Първи в списъка на Невена и майка й са краставиците. Отправят се към един голям щанд с зеленчук. Оттам решават да купят и домати, тъй като продавачът ги е пуснал на промоция. На следващият щанд продавачката поздравява Невена и майка й, защото са редовни клиенти и се познават. Тя дава на двете да опитат от гроздето, което продава. На Невена толкова й харесва, че майка й купува едно пликче с грозде. Хапвайки от пликчето, Невена слуша виковете на продавачите, които привикваха клиентите. След 40-минутен пазар, двете са накупили много пресен плод и зеленчук. Решават да хапнат по една торта в малко магазинче на пазара и се връщат вкъщи, за да започнат готвенето на обяда. Now, before I read you the story one more time, I will ask you to keep in mind the following questions. What did Nevena and her mother buy first at the market? A. Lemons. B. Grapes. C. Cucumbers. What two things did Nevena eat at the market? A. Cheese and tomatoes. B. Grapes and cake. Or C. Cake and cheese. How long did Nevena and her mother shop for? A. 20 minutes. B. 40 minutes. Or C. 1 hour. Невена и майка й станаха рано в неделя сутрин, за да посетят местният пазар. С подготвен лист в ръка, двете пристигат на пазара в 9 сутринта. Щандовете са напълно отворени и мястото започва да се пълни. Възрастните хора обичат да ходят по-рано, за да избегнат суматохата. Първи в списъка на Невена и майка й са краставиците. Отправят се към един голям щанд с зеленчук. Оттам решават да купят и домати, тъй като продавачът ги е пуснал на промоция. На следващият щанд продавачката поздравява Невена и майка й, защото са редовни клиенти и се познават. Тя дава на двете да опитат от гроздето, което продава. На Невена толкова и харесва, че майка й купува едно пликче с грозде. Хапвайки от пликчето, Невена слуша виковете на продавачите, които привикваха клиенти. След 40-минутен пазар, двете са накупили много пресен плод и зеленчук. Решават да хапнат по една торта в малко магазинче на пазара и се връщат вкъщи, за да започнат готвенето на обяда. Let's learn some new vocabulary and grammar. Невена и майка й станаха рано в неделя сутрин, за да посетят местният пазар. Пазар is the word for market. It is easy to remember because it sounds like bazaar in English. Pazar can also mean shopping as a noun. Mesten. Mesten means local. It's the basic form of the adjective. It can be used for a person or place, such as local residents, local schools, etc. Mesniat is the definite form of the adjective, meaning the local. In the Bulgarian language, definite adjectives get definite articles attached at the end, depending on the noun's gender. For example, местният пазар, the local market. Местната жена, the local women. Местното училище, the local school. Местните жители, the local residents. Възрастните хора обичат да ходят по-рано, за да избегнат суматохата. Възрастни means elderly. Here you can see that the definite article te is added at the end, translating to the elderly people. Sumatocha is a very fun word which Bulgarians often use. It's a noun describing a commotion, hustle, usually a loud, crazy place, such as local market. Once again, notice the definite article at the end. Хапвайки от пликчето, Невена слуша виковете на продавачите, които привикваха клиенти. Хапвайки от пликчето, snacking from the bag. Hapvaki comes from the verb hapvam, to have a bite or to snack. The aiki suffix describes an action happening simultaneously with another action. As she ate from the bag, Nevena listened to the shouts of the vendors who were calling in customers. This was some hard grammar and vocabulary. Go back to the story and listen one more time if you need to. And good job for getting that far. Before we summarize what we have learned, let me give you the answers to the 3 questions I asked earlier. Were you able to answer them all correctly? Let's see. What did Nevena and her mother buy first at the market? The correct answer is C. Cucumbers. What 2 things did Nevena eat at the market? B. Grapes and cake. How long did Nevena and her mother shop for? B. 40 minutes. Here is a summary of what we learned today. Pazar. Pazar. Market or shopping. Mesten. Mesten. Local. Възрастни. Възрастни means elderly. Sumatocha. Sumatocha. Commotion. Hapvaki. Hapvaki. While eating. Here we also learned about the suffix aiki, which describes an action happening at the same time as another. Great job on today's lesson, as it was not an easy one. Bulgarian has many interestingly sounding words and the grammar can be quite complex. But once you get the basics, everything will become much easier. If you want to get better at Bulgarian, make sure to subscribe to BulgarianPod101.com. And how about supporting us by giving this video a thumbs up? I hope to see you next time. До виждане!
Now that you're finished with this lesson, don't forget, as a free bonus, you get over 30 conversation cheat sheets, but only if you sign up via the link in the description. You'll learn how to have flowing conversations and how to answer the most common questions. You can also print out these colorful cheat sheets to keep as physical study material. So don't miss out on this free gift. Click the link in the description and sign up for a free lifetime account to get your PDF cheat sheets. Wait! Before we start, do you want a bundle of 30 printable Bulgarian PDF cheat sheets? Teaching you words and phrases for conversations for free? Then click the link in the description and sign up for a free lifetime account to get access.
Welcome to BulgarianPod101.com. In today's lesson, we will talk about March in Bulgaria and what happens during this month. March is a very colorful month full of surprises, during which Bulgarians celebrate centuries-old traditions. If you're ready, let's begin! March. Mart. 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 We welcome spring in March with warmer weather than January or February. However, Bulgarians know that March weather can also be very temperamental. Some days it can be as cold as 6 degrees, and other as warm as 25 degrees. For example, in the year of 2024, on the 28th of March, it was 26 degrees. Granny Marta. Baba Marta. Baba Marta. Baba Marta. Baba Marta is the name of a Bulgarian mythical figure who brings with her the end of the cold winter and the beginning of the spring. She's part of our folklore, and often when we talk about the weather, we blame it on Granny Marta and her unpredictable temper. She comes on the 1st of March, and that is when Bulgarians also honor a centuries-old tradition by giving each other Martenitsa. 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 There is no translation in English. Martenitsa comes from the word for the month of March, Mart. Simple, right? It is a small piece of adornment made of white and red yarn, sometimes in the form of two dolls, male and female, and sometimes they are braided to make a bracelet. There are also many other creative variations. It is believed that the Martenitsa brings health and prosperity. Legend. Legenda. 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 Let me tell you the story about Pijo and Penda. Pijo and Penda are two symbols in Bulgarian folklore which were told to exist long ago. Pijo was a handsome man known for his hardworking and kind nature. He helped everyone in the village and never stayed in one place for long. That is why his cheeks were always red. Penda was the most beautiful woman in the village. She was honest and humble, with dark black hair and skin as white as snow. Pijo was amazed by her beauty and asked her to marry him. So she did. The villagers, excited about their union, decided to immortalize them by making two figures out of yarn, a red one for the groom and a white one for the bride. Bulgarians wear the Martenitsa until they see a stork, shterkel, shterkel, swallow, lastovica, lastovica, or a blossoming tree, цъфнало дърво, Цъфнало дърво. You can tie the Martenitsa on a tree. Don't throw it in the bin. Now, let's talk about a very important national holiday in Bulgaria. Right after Baba Marta, on the 3rd of March, we celebrate the Liberation Day, or Ден на освобождението. Ден на освобождението. Ден на освобождението. In the 14th century, Bulgaria was conquered by the Ottoman Empire, and it took 500 years until Bulgarians could officially celebrate their liberation. During the Russo-Turkish War, Bulgaria was re-established as a state. There are currently over 400 preserved monuments in Bulgaria dedicated to Russians and Bulgarians, and on the 3rd of March, flowers and military honors are given in memory of all the soldiers who died fighting for the liberation of Bulgaria.
Day of Todor. Todorovden. 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 Todorovden is a Christian holiday commemorating the 4th century martyr Saint Theodore. Interestingly, Todorovden has a floating date. The holiday is always celebrated on the first Saturday of Easter fast. So, just like that of Easter, the date is being determined by the lunar calendar. Todorovden, however, is also a very popular folklore holiday in Bulgaria, associated with horse breeding. It is also called Horse Easter. Name days. One might be extremely busy in Bulgaria during March, as there are a few dozen name days to celebrate. Each name is associated with a saint, all on different dates. For example, in March, there are 12 days honoring 12 saints. Todorovden is the only one that doesn't have a permanent date. So people named Todor, Theodor, Theodora, etc. will celebrate on a different date each year.
Women's Day. Ден на жената. Ден на жената. Ден на жената. On the 8th of March, we also celebrate Women's Day, just like in some other countries. It is tradition for men and children to gift flowers or presents to the women in their life, especially mothers and sisters, and girlfriends. It is a very cherished tradition in Bulgaria, and it is considered very rude not to wish Happy Women's Day. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I trust that you found it interesting and at the same time entertaining. If you want to learn more about Bulgaria and what to expect throughout the year there, make sure to subscribe to BulgarianPod101.com. I hope to see you next time. Довиждане!
Now that you're finished with this lesson, don't forget, as a free bonus, you get over 30 conversation cheat sheets, but only if you sign up via the link in the description. You'll learn how to have flowing conversations and how to answer the most common questions. You can also print out these colorful cheat sheets to keep as physical study material. So don't miss out on this free gift. Click the link in the description and sign up for a free lifetime account to get your PDF cheat sheets. Wait! Before we start, do you want a bundle of 30 printable Bulgarian PDF cheat sheets? Teaching you words and phrases for conversations for free? Then click the link in the description and sign up for a free lifetime account to get access.
Welcome to BulgarianPod101.com. Today is a listening and understanding exercise. You will hear a short story about traveling by train in Bulgaria. Train rides can be quite long, but you get to see all the beautiful sights of the country. Listen carefully, because later I will ask you a few questions to test your understanding. Now, if you're ready, let's begin. Петър е от София и ще пътува в 7 сутринта за Пловдив, за да посети баба си и дядо си. Не ги е виждал от 5 месеца и много му липсват. Купува си билет от гишето на Централна гара, усмихвайки се на жената зад касата. Влакът закъснява както обикновено, но Петър си е донесъл книга и не му прави впечатление. Влакът пристига с 20 минути закъснение. Петър си намира място до прозореца и решава да закуси. Купил си е любимото хапване – баница и айрян. Пътят до Пловдив е дълъг, но той обича да пътува с влак и това не го притеснява. След като прочита малко от книгата, задрямва и високоговорителите го събуждат с известието, че влакът е пристигнал. Няма търпение да види баба си и дядо си, които го очакват вече на гарата. Now, before I read you the story one more time, I will ask you to keep in mind the following questions. Why is Peter going to Plovdiv? A. To meet with friends. B. To visit his grandparents. Or C. To explore the city. How late was the train? A. 20 minutes. B. 15 minutes. Or C. 1 hour. What was Peter doing when the train arrived in Plovdiv? A. Eating. B. Reading. Or C. Sleeping. Петър е от София и ще пътува в 7 сутринта за Пловдив, за да посети баба си и дядо си. Не ги е виждал от 5 месеца и много му липсват. Купува си билет от гишето на Централна гара, усмихвайки се на жената зад касата. Влакът закъснява както обикновено, но Петър си е донесъл книга и не му прави впечатление. Влакът пристига с 20 минути закъснение. Петър си намира място до прозореца и решава да закуси. Купил си е любимото хапване – баница и айрян. Пътят до Пловдив е дълъг, но той обича да пътува с влак и това не го притеснява. След като прочита малко от книгата, задрямва и високоговорителите го събуждат с известието, че влакът е пристигнал. Няма търпение да види баба си и дядо си, които го очакват вече на гарата. Let's learn some new vocabulary and grammar. Петър си е донесъл книга. The reflexive pronoun si shows possession, meaning he brought a book for himself. It is the same in this sentence. Купил си е любимото хапване. He bought his favorite food. Here are more examples. Сготвил си е вечеря. He cooked himself dinner. Сипал си е вода. He poured himself water. Let's add some new words to your vocabulary. Guichet. Guichet. Ticket counter or booth. Високоговорител. Високоговорител. Speaker. Задремва. Задремва. Dozes off, meaning to fall asleep lightly. Няма търпение да види баба си и дядо си. Няма търпение means has no patience or simply cannot wait. He cannot wait to see his grandma and grandpa. Той обича да пътува с влак. He loves to travel by train. Обича да. loves to. The particle da is added in between the two verbs to connect them. For example, обича да чете, loves to read. Обича да яде, loves to eat. Обича да пее, loves to sing. Before we summarize what we have learned today, I will reveal the answers to the questions I asked earlier. Check if you have answered them correctly. Why is Peter going to Plovdiv? D. To visit his grandparents. How late was the train? A. 20 minutes. What was Peter doing when the train arrived in Plovdiv? C. Sleeping. Here is a summary of what we learned today. Vocabulary. You learned these 3 commonly used words in Bulgarian. Guichet, ticket counter or booth. Високоговорител, speaker. Задремва, dozes off, meaning to fall asleep lightly. I always had trouble pronouncing високоговорител, so break the word down to make it easier. You also learned about the reflexive pronoun sti, which shows possession of something, as well as the way to express love for something. Обича да. Don't forget, da is put in between 2 verbs. Great job on today's lesson! I hope you enjoyed it and found it useful. Bulgarian is a complex language, so take it easy and listen to the lessons as many times as you need. If you want to learn more about my country and improve your Bulgarian, make sure to subscribe to BulgarianPod101.com for more videos like this one. See you next time! Довиждане!
Now that you're finished with this lesson, don't forget, as a free bonus, you get over 30 conversation cheat sheets, but only if you sign up via the link in the description. You'll learn how to have flowing conversations and how to answer the most common questions. You can also print out these colorful cheat sheets to keep as physical study material. So don't miss out on this free gift. Click the link in the description and sign up for a free lifetime account to get your PDF cheat sheets. Wait! Before we start, do you want a bundle of 30 printable Bulgarian PDF cheat sheets? Teaching you words and phrases for conversations for free? Then click the link in the description and sign up for a free lifetime account to get access.
Welcome to BulgarianPod101.com. Today, we will talk about April in Bulgaria and what happens during this month. April is exciting time in Bulgaria, during which we welcome one of the most adored and cherished holidays. Stay until the end to learn more about Bulgarian culture, traditions, and people. If you're ready, let's begin. April. 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 April is known for its mild weather with warm sunny days but colder nights. So, if you're traveling to Bulgaria in that month, make sure to bring a jacket when you go out at night. The average daily maximum is 17 degrees Celsius, and the average daily minimum is 7 degrees. Mountainous regions are usually colder than the rest of the country, but the fresh, cooler air is perfect for a hike. Великден. 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 Easter. Великден is commonly celebrated across the Christian religion. Catholics and Orthodox Christians celebrate Easter on different dates due to differences in the calendars they use and the method of calculating the date of Easter. The Roman Catholic Church and most Western Christian churches follow the Gregorian calendar. The Eastern Orthodox Church follows the Julian calendar, which is currently about 13 days behind the Gregorian calendar. Sometimes Easter falls on the same day for both. Bulgarians are Orthodox Christians, and with that they also have different traditions connected to Easter. For example, painting eggs is one of the most cherished Easter traditions, deeply rooted in our religious customs. The practice symbolizes new life, resurrection, and good fortune, with each color and pattern carrying meaning. Eggs are traditionally dyed on Holy Thursday or Holy Saturday before Easter Sunday. The first egg painted is always red, symbolizing the blood of Christ and protection from evil. It's often used to bless the children by rubbing it on their foreheads for good health. Many families keep their first red egg until next Easter as a good luck charm. In rural areas, cracked eggshells are sometimes buried in the garden to bring fertility and good harvest. The rest of the eggs can be painted in any other color or pattern. You can be as creative as you want. Some people even use real flowers to paint the eggs and create unique designs. It's a fun and bonding experience for partners to do that together, as well as for kids to paint eggs with their parents on Easter. Чукане с яйца. Чукане с яйца. Чукане с яйца. Egg cracking game. On Easter Sunday, families and friends crack eggs against each other in a friendly competition. Each person selects a dyed egg, usually from the Easter basket. The odd game typically starts with the eldest family member as a sign of respect. The person whose egg remains unbroken is said to have good luck and health for the year. Цветница. 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 This is Palm Sunday. The holiday Цветница is celebrated on the Sunday 1 week before Easter. It honors Jesus' entry into Jerusalem. Bulgarians carry willow branches to church, then place them in their homes for blessings. Цветница is an important name day for anyone named after a flower, plant, or tree. Name days are very popular in Bulgaria, and Цветница is one of the largest ones. Here is an example of names which celebrate on that day. Boriana comes from bor, meaning pine tree. Margarita, meaning daisy, a popular name in English as well. Javor, meaning maple tree. Lilia, Liliana, Lilian come from the word lily. There are dozens of names which are honored on Цветница. So, if you are named after a flower or a plant, now you know when to celebrate your name day. If you enjoy being surrounded by nature and doing outdoor activities, April and May are the perfect months to do so, as summer can get quite hot. If you're visiting Bulgaria, make sure to explore Rila Monastery, Bulgaria's largest and most famous monastery, founded in the 10th century. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and it has been the center of Bulgarian spirituality and culture for over 1,000 years. If you have time, visit the city of Veliko Trnovo, home to the Tsarevets Fortress, a majestic medieval stronghold with panoramic views and a dramatic light and sound show at night. It's a hub for history lovers, with many medieval sites, monasteries, and museums. You can visit Plovdiv on a day trip, only 1 hour and a half from Sofia. Plovdiv is one of the oldest continuously inhabited cities in the world, over 6,000 years old. The old town is filled with colorful 19th century houses, art galleries, and cobbled streets. It's a sight to see if you're ever in the country. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have, do give us a thumbs up. If you want to keep learning about Bulgaria, make sure to subscribe to BulgarianPod101.com. See you next time! Довиждане!
Now that you're finished with this lesson, don't forget, as a free bonus, you get over 30 conversation cheat sheets, but only if you sign up via the link in the description. You'll learn how to have flowing conversations and how to answer the most common questions. You can also print out these colorful cheat sheets to keep as physical study material. So don't miss out on this free gift. Click the link in the description and sign up for a free lifetime account to get your PDF cheat sheets. Wait! Before we start, do you want a bundle of 30 printable Bulgarian PDF cheat sheets? Teaching you words and phrases for conversations for free? Then click the link in the description and sign up for a free lifetime account to get access.
Welcome to BulgarianPod101.com. Are you a fan of festivals? Well, Bulgaria has countless of them throughout the year, each unique and different than the other. Today, we will do a listening and comprehension exercise, where I will tell you a short story about the famous Rozhen Folklore Festival held annually in the Rhodope Mountains. Listen carefully, because later I will ask you a few questions to test your understanding. Grab a cup of tea, and if you're ready, let's begin. This story is told from the point of view of a young boy named Боян. Миналото лято с семейството ми отидохме на Рожденския фолклорен фестивал в Родопите. Беше ми за първи път и всички бяха много развълнувани. Когато пристигнахме, видяхме големи поляни, пълни с хора, народни носии, песни и звуци от гайди. Майка ми беше донесла народна носия и след като се преоблякох, отидохме да играем хора. На сцената имаше фолклорни групи от цяла България. Те пееха, танцуваха и показваха традиции от своя регион. Имаше и щандове с ръчно изработени сувенири, хляб, мед и сирене. Баба ми купи дървена свирка и ми разказа как е ходила на събора, когато е била малка. Имаше над 100 000 души. Никога не бях виждал толкова хора на едно място. Танцувахме, пяхме и се забавлявахме до вечерта. Накрая ме боляха краката, но не исках да си тръгвам. Now, before I read you the story one more time, I will ask you to keep in mind the following questions. What did Boyan do once he arrived at the festival? A. Changed into traditional Bulgarian clothing. B. Went to eat. C. Watched a concert. Who gave Boyan a wooden whistle? A. His mother. B. His grandmother. Or C. His father. How many people were at the festival? A. A few hundred. B. 100,000. C. 1,000. Миналото лято с семейството ми отидохме на Роженския фолклорен фестивал в Родопите. Беше ми за първи път и всички бяха много развълнувани. Когато пристигнахме, видяхме големи поляни, пълни с хора, народни носии, песни и звуци от гайди. Майка ми беше донесла народна носия и след като се преоблякох, отидохме да играем хора. На сцената имаше фолклорни групи от цяла България. Те пееха, танцуваха и показваха традиции от своя регион. Имаше и щандове с ръчно изработени сувенири, хляб, мед и сирене. Баба ми купи дървена свирка и ми разказа как е ходила на събора, когато е била малка. Имаше над 100 000 души. Никога не бях виждал толкова хора на едно място. Танцувахме, пяхме и се забавлявахме до вечерта. Накрая ме боляха краката, но не исках да си тръгвам. Народна носия. Народна носия. Народна носия. That means traditional Bulgarian clothing worn at festivals, weddings, and dances. Each region in Bulgaria has its own style. Хоро. 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 That's a traditional Bulgarian group dance. People hold hands and form a circle or line. The plural form is хора, which has an accent on a when pronounced. If you don't put the accent at the end of the word, it becomes хора, meaning people. Folklore festival. Folklore festival. Folklore festival. Folklore festival. Свирка. 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 That's the noun for the word whistle. Using sus versus sa. For example, миналото лято с семейството ми отидохме на Роженския фолклорен фестивал в Родопите. The translation is, last summer, I went to the Rojen Folklore Festival in the Родопи Mountains with my family. С семейството ми. With my family. Normally, с means with. But when the next word begins with s or z, we use sus for smoother pronunciation. С приятелите си. With his friends. С сестра си. With his sister. This is a phonetic rule. There is no change in meaning. Когато пристигнахме, видяхме големи поляни, пълни с хора, народни носии, песни и звуци от гайди. The translation is, when we arrived, we saw large meadows full of people in traditional costumes, songs, and the sounds of bagpipes. Когато пристигнахме. When we arrived. Когато means when. Пристигнахме is the past tense of the verb пристигам, to arrive. Here, пристигнахме, the plural form of we. Here are some few more examples. Когато приключихме. When we finished. Когато говорихме. When we talked. Before we summarize what we have learned today, I will give you the answers to the questions I asked earlier. Let's see how many you got right. What did Boyan do once he arrived at the festival? A. Changed into traditional Bulgarian clothing. Who gave Boyan a wooden whistle? B. His grandmother. How many people were at the festival? B. 100,000. Now, let's summarize what we have learned from this text. You added 4 new words to your Bulgarian vocabulary. Народна носия, traditional Bulgarian clothing. Horo, a traditional Bulgarian group dance. Folklore and festival, folklore festival. And svirka, meaning whistle. You also learned when to use sus and s. You use sus when the next word starts with s or z for smoother pronunciation. Finally, you learned how to use когато plus past tense verb to start time clauses. Когато meaning when. This is for today. Well done on this lesson. I encourage you to keep practicing and try forming your own sentences with the new vocabulary and grammar to solidify your understanding. If you want to have more videos with listening and comprehension exercises, well, make sure to subscribe to BulgarianPod101.com. I really hope to see you next time. Do viđenje!
Now that you're finished with this lesson, don't forget, as a free bonus, you get over 30 conversation cheat sheets, but only if you sign up via the link in the description. You'll learn how to have flowing conversations and how to answer the most common questions. You can also print out these colorful cheat sheets to keep as physical study material. So don't miss out on this free gift. Click the link in the description and sign up for a free lifetime account to get your PDF cheat sheets.
Okay, hi everyone! How are you today? I'm your host Daria and this is an episode of BulgarianPod101.com. Maybe one of the most important episodes because it gives you the top 25 Bulgarian phrases that they are. I mean, these are key phrases that you need to start a conversation, to introduce yourself, to say the basic phrases of every language. So if you want to be 25 Bulgarian phrases ahead of the rest of the people who don't know those, grab a pen and a notebook and let's start.
Здравей. Здравей. Hello.
How to start? How should we start? I think there's no better way to start but to say здравей. Zdravei. Hello. Well, hello everyone. Zdravei is like an informal way to say it. You can say здравейте, the formal one. Also plural, yeah. You can say здравейте to multiple people. And also if you hear that some Bulgarian people say zdrasti, zdrasti, this is the short version of hello. Just hi.
Добро утро. Добро утро. Good morning.
How do you usually start the day? If you see somebody, you would greet them with Добро утро. Добро утро. Good morning. This phrase I love a lot because of the vibration of it. Добро утро. Practice your R's in this phrase. Also, I like to use it because we're one step ahead of our southern neighbors, the Greek people, who don't even have a phrase for good morning. They just start from Kalimera, which is the day. I don't know why nobody celebrates the morning over there. We do.
Добър ден. Добър ден. Good afternoon.
Moving on later in the day. Добър ден. Добър ден. Good afternoon. Now, here's the tricky part because it may be 10 a.m. in the morning, but you can hear a Bulgarian saying Добър ден, which literally is good afternoon, but we use it more as good day to you. So remember it, Добър ден.
Лека нощ. Лека нощ. Good night.
When you go to bed, you would hear a Bulgarian person wishing you leka nocht. Leka nocht. This is good night. Good night, good night. I remember a song from my childhood. There was a television show just before the little kids would go to bed. And the show was called Leka nocht deca. Good night, children. Deca. And it was about a character named Sâncho. Sâncho, which is like a sleepy boy. Anyway, memories from my childhood. Moving on.
Как се казваш? Как се казваш? What's your name?
Now that you've learned how to greet people according to the part of the day your encounter is happening, how to properly introduce yourself? You can ask them for their name. Как се казваш? Как се казваш? This is pretty much asking what's your name. You can also make it plural or formal by saying te at the end. Как се казва те? What is your name? Formal. And how do we reply to that?
Аз съм Майя. Аз съм Майя. I'm Maya.
Аз съм Дария. Аз съм Дария. Аз съм Дария. This is a way of saying I am Daria. And what do we usually add after that, after we introduce our name?
Приятно ми е да се запознаем. Приятно ми е да се запознаем. Nice to meet you.
Usually after we say our name, we would add приятно ми е да се запознаем. Right? It's very simple. Приятно ми е да се запознаем. Nice to meet you. Now, you can just use the first part of this phrase, which is приятно ми е. It's nice. That's pretty much enough for Bulgarian. But if you want to sound more like a true Bulgarian, you gotta say приятно ми е да се запознаем.
Как си? Как си? How are you?
Как си? Как си? How are you? This is a classic question you can ask anybody, and it's a door opener, by the way. I've heard it use it quite a lot in the US or other countries. However, please, I beg of you, when you ask как си, really show interest and really mean it. Как си?
Благодаря, добре. А ти? Благодаря, добре. А ти? I'm fine, thanks. And you?
And usually there is the answer. Благодаря, добре. А ти? Благодаря, добре. А ти? Literally, I'm fine, thank you. And how about you? Благодаря, добре. Благодаря, добре. А ти? I'm fine, thanks. And you? Literally, благодаря is thank you, добре is good. Thank you, good. А ти and you. You can juggle with that, or you can say how you really feel. You may be moody, you may be happy, you may be anxious. So you can add whatever you like in that little phrase. Благодаря, добре. Благодаря, не добре.
Моля. Моля. Please.
Моля. Моля. It's a very important word because it shows politeness. It shows good intention. This is the Bulgarian word for please. Please. Also, moля means I beg you, I beg of you. But you can also add it to any sentence if you would like to request something. And we'll see later on how to use моля.
Благодаря. Благодаря. Thank you.
The next word is a very important one because it shows gratitude. Благодаря. Благодаря. One word. It means thank you. But the root of the word is благо, which is the best things or the nice things. Даря, I'm gifting them to you. Like nice things I'm giving. So you can say благодаря. But also for people who don't feel confident in saying this long word in Bulgarian, it's fine for you to use the French merci, because we've stolen that one in our language.
Пак заповядай. Пак заповядай. You're welcome.
And usually if you say благодаря, you can say right afterwards, пак заповядай. Пак заповядай. You are welcome. And you have the nicest of nicest things in your relationship with the person you have just met. Nice base to work on from then on.
Да. Yes.
Here are the two most important words to reply a yes and no question, which are the words yes and no. Da in Bulgarian means yes.
Не. No.
Ne in Bulgarian means no. But don't confuse it with the type of nodding, because all over the world, this means da and this means ne. But only in Bulgaria, it's vice versa. So this would mean no, and this would mean yes. Not ne, da. Why? I can't even tell you. I can't. Some psychology thing, sociology, I don't know.
Добре. Okay.
Remember the phrase that we've used before? Благодаря, добре. Replying to how are you feeling today? Good, thank you. Good. This is the word добре. Добре. This means okay in Bulgarian, and it's okay to use it as much as possible, just because of the good vibration of it. Добре, добре.
Извинете. Извинете. Excuse me.
Another of the top 25 Bulgarian phrases that everybody should know is извинете. Извинете. Excuse me. Yes, people should learn how to use this word as much as possible because, first of all, Bulgarian people rarely use it. Why? If they step on your foot or they push you or punch you, do something horrible to you, they would say, Opa. They may even crush your car and they will say, Opa, which literally is oops. They would not say, excuse me, I apologize, and they would just go away. Yeah, because we are such people. But really, a lot of people say opa. Opa, which is, I think it's a Greek word as well. Opa. Opa! Opa, hey. Okay.
Съжалявам. Съжалявам. I'm sorry.
Another good word to use is съжалявам. Съжалявам. Now, this means I'm sorry. And I'm sorry, but a lot of people find difficulty pronouncing the... Now I'm having difficulty speaking. Pronouncing the in the beginning, because we have this sound. The Brazilian people would understand perfectly what I'm talking about because they have this sound. But if you don't, stress on съжалявам. съжалявам. It actually makes your body feel good after you say it. So I'm sorry. Use it as much as you can.
Колко е часът? Колко е часът? What time is it?
So you're walking the streets of Sofia or Plovdiv, and you have a meeting with a local person to show you around. You've agreed to meet at 2 o'clock somewhere, but you don't have a watch. The battery on your phone is dead, so there is no way for you to know is it 2 o'clock already or not. Here is a way to ask for it. Колко е часът? Колко е часът? What's the time? Usually, as an answer, you would get just a number. 2, 2 часа, 3 часа, 4, and it's useful if you know the Bulgarian numbers.
Къде е тоалетната? Къде е тоалетната? Where is the restroom?
Another very useful phrase, which is definitely among the top 25 Bulgarian phrases you should know, is this one. Къде е тоалетната? Къде е тоалетната? The double O. Okay, where is the restroom? I don't know why I feel saying that learning this will open a lot of doors for you. Hopefully it will open a lot of doors for you and you don't have to wait in front of the restroom. But in Bulgaria, there are a lot of public restrooms around, or you can use any cafe or restaurant for this. And literally, you can just say toilet and they'll understand you because toilet, toaletna. Very similar.
Изчакайте за момент. Изчакайте за момент. Wait a moment.
Here's another phrase. If you hear somebody say изчакайте за момент, изчакайте за момент, they usually mean wait a moment. I hope you don't hear this in front of the restroom door, but in case that happens, you know that you have to wait. Hey, sometimes in life you have to wait for the good things to come and to happen to you.
Колко струва това? Колко струва това? How much is this?
So you've had a wonderful day sightseeing and you've met the local person and then you enter a souvenir shop. But in the souvenir shop there is no price announced. Now, if that happens, you can ask, колко струва това? Колко струва това? How much is this? And again, they'll give you a number as an answer. So it's always handy and good to learn the Bulgarian numbers first.
Помощ. Помощ. Help.
If you need help, ask for it. You can say помощ. Помощ. Help. Yell it as loud as you can. Помощ. Pomost. It's a funny thing that we Bulgarians have been exposed so much to Western movies that almost everybody would know the English version of pomost, which is help. However, you will sound like a true Bulgarian if you learn pomost.
До скоро. До скоро. See you later.
We are almost towards the end. It seems proper that I give you 2 phrases of how to part with people. So bear with me. До скоро. До скоро means see you later.
Довиждане. Довиждане Goodbye.
Another word would be doviždane. Doviždane. Goodbye. And don't be afraid to use the Italian ciao because it's so short and so easy and everybody uses it. And this is another foreign word that we have stolen and claimed in our Bulgarian language.
Не знам. Не знам. I don't know.
Не знам. Не знам. This is a way of saying I don't know. And in my personal opinion, this phrase can get you out of almost any situation. Whatever they ask you, you just say ne znam, and you can add bulgarski at the end of that sentence. For example, ne znam bulgarski. And that will be enough for the people to leave you alone. If you do know Bulgarian, which you do by watching BulgarianPod101.com, you can just say znam. I know Bulgarski, Bulgarian. Znam Bulgarski. I know Bulgarian. Great. Seems like we've reached the end of this episode of BulgarianPod101.com, and you now know the top 25 Bulgarian phrases everybody should know. Great! That's amazing. I'm proud of you. And by the way, for more Bulgarian, click subscribe here under this video. Leave me a comment about which of this you would say to a stranger. Or go to BulgarianPod101.com for more lessons in Bulgarian. I'm your host, Daria, and I can't wait until I meet you next time. Until then, do skoro! Hi everyone, and welcome to a new episode of BulgarianPod101.com, the best way to learn Bulgarian language, with your host here, Daria. Today, I'm eager to share with you 10 questions you should know. And why have I picked those? You'll see why. Here is some explanation at the end of every question and sample answer you're gonna get. So if you are ready to start, let's go!
Как се казвате? Как се казвате? What's your name?
Here is the first question. Как се казвате? Как се казвате? What's your name? Great. Pay attention that казвате is actually formal way to say, to ask for somebody's name. Казвате. The informal way and first person of the verb казвам се is казваш. Как се казваш? You can ask this to somebody you feel familiar with. How to reply? Very simple. Казвам се Дария. Казвам се Дария. My name is Daria. Very simple. And you can also say аз съм Дария. I am Daria. Various name. You can even forget the verb part and just reply with your name. As simple as that.
Как сте? Как сте? How are you?
The next question you should know actually logically follows the first one. Как сте? Как сте? How are you? Right after you ask for somebody's name, let's ask how do they feel? Again, with this one, remember that как сте is a formal way to ask a person. Or you can ask multiple persons, multiple people, personas. Okay, great. Как сте turns into как си. This is the informal way of asking how are you? And how do you reply? Here is a sample. Добре съм, благодаря. Добре съм. Благодаря. I'm fine. Thank you. It's a good thing to add the благодаря at the end. It really gives a hint that you are a human being. I encourage you to use благодаря as often as you can, because in my culture we don't get to use it a lot.
Откъде си? Откъде си? Where are you from?
Great! Now that you have found out what's the person's name and how do they feel, you can ask them. Откъде си? Откъде си? Where are you from? And a possible answer to this could be от Sofia. От Sofia. From Sofia. You can change the location and turn it into Plovdiv, Varna, Russe, Burgas, or whatever town you are from. But this is how you can ask a Bulgarian person. Откъде си? Where are you from?
Кога е рожденият ти ден? Кога е рожденият ти ден? When is your birthday?
Another question I really like to ask people, because I'm so interested in astrology that I would like right away to know everybody's zodiac sign. Maybe that makes me a little bit prejudiced, but hey, I bond with some signs and some not, so I have to watch out for those people. So I will ask, кога е рожденият ти ден? Кога е рожденият ти ден? When is your birthday? It's a phrase that needs a little bit of practice because of a lot of d sounds, but you'll get to it very quickly, I am sure. And how do you reply to that? If you don't want to give away your birthday, you can just reply by giving your month of birth. For example, I'm born in February, so I would answer през февруари. През февруари. It's very similar to February. February. Gives a little bit of a trick over there in pronunciation, but that means in February, and I indeed was born in February. This makes me an Aquarius.
Къде живееш? Къде живееш? Where do you live?
So, after you've learned the person's birthday, but before you ask them straight for their bank account number, you can ask them this. Къде живееш? Къде живееш? Where do you live? And, of course, they will try to get around the answer. So, you may get an answer like this. Живея с приятели. Живея с приятели. I live with friends. Of course, this means leave me alone and don't ask me any more questions, please. But hey, it's better to live with friends, by the way, than with your family. It shows up that you are taking responsibility for your adult life. So great that you're living with friends.
Къде работиш? Къде работиш? Where do you work?
One of the favorite questions somebody would ask you, of course, because they try, to figure out what social class you belong to or how much money you make. Of course, they would ask you this. Къде работиш? Къде работиш? Where do you work? To which you can, of course, create your own story if you don't like to deal with nosy people. But if you truly would like to answer honestly, tell wherever you work. But here is a way of saying it. В една туристическа агенция. В една туристическа агенция. I think you almost thought of what exactly this means in English, and it means in a travel agency, in a tourist agency. Yes. So if you work, for example, in a bank, you can say в една банка. Or if you don't work at all, you can say I am a happy person.
Какъв е телефонният ти номер? Какъв е телефонният ти номер? What's your phone number?
Some people would like to know a lot of things about you, so they may ask you, какъв е телефонният ти номер? Какъв е телефонният ти номер? What's your phone number? Of course, if it's a very important business connection, you would give your phone number to this person that you're talking to. However, if it's just a random person who is trying to interfere in your life, this is how you reply. Предпочитам да не го давам на непознати. Предпочитам да не го давам на непознати. I prefer not giving it to strangers. I think that you would agree with me on this one.
Къде сте учили български език? Къде сте учили български език? Where did you learn Bulgarian?
Great, guys! So, you're in a party with Bulgarian people and you are impressing them with the Bulgarian language you've already learned, so it's natural that somebody should ask you, къде сте учили български език? Къде сте учили български език? Where have you learned Bulgarian? Great, so be prepared for this question. So when this question comes, here's how you answer. На летен лагер в Родопите. На летен лагер в Родопите. My favorite mountain, Родопи. This literally translates as in a summer camp in the Rodopi Mountains. Great! This is a good way to learn Bulgarian right over there. Another good way is to comment on this channel. I learned Bulgarian with BulgarianPod101.com. And if somebody asks you, къде сте учили български? You can say BulgarianPod101.com, which literally is our name with the S in the front.
Харесвате ли българската кухня? Харесвате ли българската кухня? Do you like Bulgarian food?
And of course, a conversation with a Bulgarian person would not be complete without them asking you about our food. How do you find it? So, a Bulgarian person may ask you, харесвате ли българската кухня? Харесвате ли българската кухня? Do you like Bulgarian food? What do you think the answer should be? Please never tell a Bulgarian person you don't like the Bulgarian cuisine. Even if you don't like it, we take pride in everything that is Bulgarian for some reason. So also this is a very good shortcut to insult a Bulgarian. Tell them you don't like their food. However, for the purposes of making friendship, here is how you should answer the question. Абсолютно обожавам я. Абсолютно обожавам я. Definitely yes. I love it. You love it and they will love you for loving it.
Били ли сте в България? Били ли сте в България? Have you been to Bulgaria?
The next question may come into conversation if you are outside of Bulgaria, somewhere, and you meet Bulgarian people or anybody who would like to ask about our country. So the question would be, били ли сте в България? Били ли сте в Bulgaria. Have you been to Bulgaria? And in case this conversation is not happening in my country, you can reply. Не, никога, но много бих искала. Не, никога, но много бих искала. This means no, never, but I would like to very much. However, pay attention that this phrase много бих искала, I would like to very much, is only if you are a female saying it. If you are a male saying it, you should say много бих искал. So there is just one letter difference, but it makes the whole change of gender over there. And so this is the end of today's episode of BulgarianPod101.com. You've learned 10 questions you should know in Bulgarian language. For more, go to BulgarianPod101.com and also subscribe to this channel to stay up to date with the next episode with your host, Daria. I love sharing all kind of facts with you about my country, sometimes with a little bit of humor. I hope you don't mind that, and I will try to do that in the next episode. Until we see one another again, you can leave something in the comment section for me to read. Довиждане и благодаря. Goodbye and thank you.
Expand your vocabulary with our Core 2000 Words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Bulgarian ebook before it's gone.